Hi, my name is Jitin Tommy. We starting to the case study, enhancing UK SME resilience, learning from the global supply chain best practice, a strategic consultants report for the UK policy markers. And we're going to the introduction. Yeah, we talk about the introduction to being. We must acknowledge to critical and essential challenges facing in SME globally. Present supply chain distribution, geopolitical events, pandemic, and the labor shortage, and rapidly digital transformation are creating the increasingly volatile operating environment. Our core research questions investigate how SME strategically acquired the necessary skill and knowledge and the adaptive response is not only survive but only grow amid their distribution. It's imperative to understand the SME are disproportionately impacted compared to large corporations primarily due to their more limited financial and operational resource. The issue creates the significant microeconomic weight as SME constitute the over 90% of global business. This instable directly national economics and employment stability and involving there a lot of progress. Therefore, the primary aim this report is to identify and analyze transferable global SME infrastructure by the best practices, particularly that can be inform the shape effective UK policy recommendations. We're going to the next slide and we're going to discuss about the UK vulnerability and our approach. Delivering into the specific content that UK SME sector has experienced a performed invent infrastructure for the supply chain vulnerability, particularly extra the COVID-19 pandemic and the ongoing post-Bristol period. This distribution manifests as a production delay, the critical inventory shortage, and the operation costs, and the significant customer dissatisfaction give us these challenges. Our role is project is that of a consultant that take with a providing strategic insight. Our methodological approach involves the critical critical what you mean and it successfully of SME support infrastructure from the variable international content. And we're going to discuss about the other slide, the core problem, the cause of UK SME supply chain vulnerability. There are a lot of key points in SME supply chain vulnerability that cause the effectively purpose of solution. We must first deeply understand the root of cause of SME, UK SME supply chain and the vulnerability and our analyze, identify this several critical factors. The first, they are prevent over release of the single suppliers which create the impress fertile the distribution over. The secondary, the significant lack of critical digital tools as systems impact vulnerability and productivity management. And the third thing is impact of these SMEs often operate with a low capital reserve, limited their capacity to avoid to the risk of the management practice and the general absence of strategic planning for potential distribution. The rapidly the effect these vulnerability are performed at leading of financial strain and the potential business causes of SME owners. Increase the job insecure of employee, the delay of or cancel order the customers boarded economic slowdown impact the governments and directive payment delay and the broker contact from the suppliers and occur to the value of chain. Understanding these implications is critical. This causes by a lot of development or seek recommendations. We're going to the next slide. Uh, Conceptual framework building supply chain releases. To provide the region analyze the foundation for our recommendation, our research applied a comprehensive supply chain release framework. This framework was built upon to the organize the principal significant encourage the roadless, which is ability to withstand flexibility allowed to the angle reconfigurability by the capability understand to reduce supply chain when necessary. These are the main things to causes by the collaboration, the strength of cross of the network. The framework offers the systematic approach from the through analyzing the manufactured vulnerabilities present with SME supply chain is present due to the critical invention point where strategic point and operational inventory, but the effective of the building effort and the providing the clear route map for our analyze. We're going to the next slide, the global best practice, the first in Germany, Midland, and model. We're going to discuss about our first deep dive into the global best practice, bring up the Germany highest successfully Midland and SME which survey the prime example of release the business models. Strength is fundamentally underpinned by the robust valuation training that due to the appreciation system ensure the supply of skilled and adaptable force tailored in industry needs. And furthermore, the Midland the benefits from the supervise the financial ecosystem, including specialized region, SME bank, and government bank, the finance program that provide the large team, capital, uh, curriculum, and grow up the inventory and the release. These are also categorized by the strong region business network and inventory that knowledge transfer involved in the coalition program solve amounts the problem and operationally a key at the further of high volume and the high quality production standard and the component of innovation. This German SME is constantly maintaining the stability, effectively adapt the dynamic market, the shift and the sustain significant support strategic event during global economic system. These are discussed about my side. Thank you. We hand over for other person.
Hi, I am Shalem Tangeti. Coming to next global practice 2, the Netherlands Digital and Logistics Hubs. Our second case study is the Netherlands, widely recognized for its advanced logistics innovation and sophisticated digital infrastructure. A significant factor in their success is the high rate of digital adoption across industries, supported by strategically developed and technologically advanced logistics hub. Government initiatives and incentives play a crucial role, actively promoting and facilitating digital transformation efforts, specifically among SMEs. From an operational perspective, there is a strategy focus on developing multimodal transport options and diversifying supply routes, which inherent enhances supply chain resilience by reducing reliance on single modes or pathways. Furthermore, proactive public private partnerships are a hallmark, significantly driven innovation within the supply chain sector by aligning governmental support with a private sector expertise. This comprehensive ecosystem collectively positions the Netherlands as a leading example in both logistical efficiency and digital readiness, offering valuable lessons for UK SMEs. And go- going forward, comparative evaluation reliance to the UK. Moving into the data analysis, we employ a rigorous comparative approach utilizing a PESTEL framework to critically assess the transferability of these international models to the UK context. Beginning with the German Mittelstand model, we identified significant potential for enhancing UK SME resilience, specifically adapting German's robust vocational training systems could directly address the UK's existing labor shortages and critical skill gaps within the supply chain management. Moreover, actively forecasting regional business networks mirroring the German collaborating approach could sustainably boost inter SME collaborating in the UK, creating more resilient local ecosystems. However, it is a crucial acknowledge the direct replications faces barriers. The UK's distinct regulatory environment, for instance, presents a potential hurdle, as do fundamental differences in financial system structures that may be the straightforward transfer of German SME banking models. Furthermore, cultural variations in how business relationships are built and sustained require careful consideration for effective network development. And going forward, comparative evaluations, implementations, and UK adoption opportunities are the digital focus. Continuing our cooperative assessment, the Dutch model's strong emphasis on digital adoption present potential for UK SMEs enhance their supply chain capabilities. And not only that, these systems echoing the strategic investments made by globally successful enterprises is crucial for increasing visibility and efficiency. Furthermore, promoting multiple sourcing strategies, a key strength demonstrated by the Dutch, can significantly enhance overall UK SME resilience by diversifying risk. However, it's important to recognize the barriers to this adoption. Significant capital investment is often required for comprehensive digital transformation across the UK SME landscape, which can be prohibitive factor. Additionally, a degree of inertia within traditional UK sectors may present a challenge to rapid technological uptake, and integrating complex new digital solutions often poses considerable implementation challenges for many SMEs. Despite these barriers, the UK possesses unique opportunities, including its robust exits tech innovations hub and strong foundation for digital development. Leveraging current government business support initiatives can accelerate digital for transformation, and the national drive towards green and sustainable logistics provides a unique contextual opportunity for concurrent digital adoption. And going forward, UK policymakers choices, and this complementive UK and the selected options is also and short term policies and long term policies. And coming to the short term policies directions, and immediate action is called for stabilize and support the and SMEs. And in the course of interruptions that are ongoing, and recommendations set up the emergency to the range of motions, and these short-term policy directions moving to more immediate actionable steps. This slide outlines our short-term policy directions aimed at providing rapid stability and support to UK SMEs amidst current and emerging disruption. Our first urgent recommendation classified as a must is to immediately launch an emergency SME supply chain advisory service. This service would provide rapid, subsidized access to expert consultants, enabling SMEs to swiftly address immediate problem solving needs such as identifying alternative suppliers or navigating new custom procedures following disruptions. Our second short-term recommendation should is to accelerate the provision of digital adoption vouchers specifically for basic supply chain software. These targeted grants would empower SMEs to acquire foundational digital tools that offer immediate improvements in inventory management, order take tracking, and basic supply chain visibility, thereby providing quick wins in resilience. Going forward, long term policy directions. And coming to the long term policies directions, looking beyond immediate challenges. This slide details our long term policy directions crucial for establishing systematic resilience and truly future proofing the UK's SME sector. Our third recommendation is could is to develop a comprehensive national SME supply chain skill program. This initiative would strategically integrate advanced supply chain resilience and digital skills into existing vocational training and foster strong collaboration with higher education institutes to build sustainable talent pipeline. Our fourth recommendation also could is to proactively forecast public-private innovation partnerships significantly aimed at developing SME-focused supply chain technology. These partnerships would encourage joint ventures and incubators to create affordable, scalable, and user-friendly digital solutions that are precisely tailored for the unique supply chain challenges by SMEs, driving sustainable innovation from within the ecosystem. And going forward for the conclusions, at the end of the conclusions and uncertainty addressing, our analysis strongly indicates that enhancing UK SME resilience demands a truly multifaceted approach. This requires a synergetic integration of strategic policy intervention informed by global best practices with a proactive and adaptive mindset cultivated within the SMEs themselves. It's crucial, however, to acknowledge that implementing such comprehensive policies will face inherent challenges, including varying levels of SME readiness across different sectors and the perpetual dynamic global economic landscape, which is often shaped by unpredictable geopolitical factors. Therefore, we explicitly acknowledge that no single firm solution exists for these complex real world issues. Instead, future success for the UK's SME sector will necessity continuous managerial and organizational eligibility in response to these unavoidable external changes. Finally, we propose key areas for further research and ongoing monitoring, including the long term impact of specific digital adoption incentives across diverse SME sectors, the documented effectiveness of regional hubs in fostering inter-SME collaboration and resilience, and continuous tracking of the evolving nature of labor shortage and their precise impact on SME logistics. This ongoing vigilance is critical for sustainable resilience. Thank you so much.